Hello everyone, Calvatron here, recording another video today, driving the Lamborghinis around Bahrain Outer on Le Mans Ultimate. Absolutely love this game at the moment, much better than iRacing, however they have just ruined the tyre model, and we'll get to that later on in the video, but we're starting off here today on pole position. I'm in split 5 I think of about 15, so I'm not a top split on this game, but yeah. We're just going down here on the main straight now. We didn't get the best start. Novella on the left is going to take, the outside line, obviously, where he's going to be starting on P2. We're going to get a nice break into turn 1. Ferrari's going to dip his nose up there, but we're going to release off the brakes. But I just don't want to get in an accident in turn 1. We're going to let Novella, make his move. That's fine. He can do whatever he wants. We're just going to chase him. If we don't get the best start, that's fine. But we can, it's a long race, 20-minute race. We're going to see what we can do. That corner as well, I kind of missed my braking mark. The tyres and the brakes are cold. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to keep it moving. I actually really like this Bahrain Outer circuit. When you nail a lap, especially on these corners here, and you get, you don't get off track or anything like that. It's actually quite a nice circuit. A lot better than the actual Bahrain layout, I think. I'm not a fan of that turn 8 and 9, but whatever that downhill one is. That's just a horrible corner. At the end of lap 1 now, we're gonna make sure we're nailing those braking points. We wanna catch back up to Novella with time to spare. That's the plan. We don't want to be sitting around. The two drivers behind actually get drive-through penalties. I'm not actually sure what that was for. Novella there, 7/10 faster than us on lap 1, but obviously lap 1 is not really representative of the actual pace of the race. But we're going to nail our braking point there into turn 1. Turn 2 and 3 here, again, we've closed that gap down from 0.9 to 0.5 now, so we're getting 4/10 in that corner alone. I think I've got the pace here to beat him easily. Now I got him on pole position. Obviously I didn't get him on lap 1, but as we go in this corner here, not the best corner from me, but I'm just going to make sure I get those two wheels in the curb. Ideally I'd be getting them put over the curb, just to hook up that corner a bit better, but it's fine. We're gaining on him. We're 0.6 down now. We're going to just keep up behind him. We've got our own behind me as well. As you can see, he's actually kind of making progress as well, and I think it's around here that in the race I actually start noticing that he's actually quite quick. So we're going to be coming around the last corner here onto lap 3. About 13 more laps to go. We want to get Novella on this lap. As you can see, we're faster than him. I think everyone behind, pretty much the last 3 behind, they didn't get a valid lap, which isn't great. But again here, we're right behind Novella now. I think at this point of the race, I was thinking, I've got the pace. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna send it up. I'm gonna get a nice overtake coming into one of these corners here. And just prioritize that nice clean line, clean racing. Everyone's happy. Lamborghini around here is very powerful. As you can see, the top 5 all in the Lambo. I'm a big fan of this Lamborghini. I was driving the BMW GT3 around here, but I didn't actually like it that much. Normally I'm not a big fan of rear engine cars in GT3, so the Porsche, the McLaren, not normally the biggest fan. Well, I guess the Porsche is mid-engine actually, but we're going to just start putting pressure on him here. We're very close to him behind there. We give him a quick flash to try and put him off. Normally I don't really like getting flashed. Joke there. But you got to do it. Just to put the driver off. And as you can see there, for whatever reason, maybe he just misjudged his braking zone anyway, but we're right alongside him now. He's got the inside line, but I'm going to just stick on the brakes. As we go into turn 1, we're braking pretty much at the same point, but I release off the brakes a little bit earlier than he does. Well, I get the car slowed down a bit earlier. He kind of overshoots, so I was going for the switchback there, but here, can he sniff out the inside? No, he's covered that off, but that's fine. I don't mind being on the outside here, because then you're on the inside for the next corner, but I tried the overlap here. Doesn't work. And we both live to see another fight for another day. I'm going to stick close behind him, as Ohm is 1.2 behind now. I think he's gaining, and around these corners here you kind of get a little bit frustrated because you're thinking, You know, I've got the pace in. He's kind of holding me up. As you can see, I'm 6 minutes down on my fastest lap when I wasn't in his traffic. And we're going to make that move around the outside here, are we? You can see him flashing as well, for whatever reason, out of frustration maybe. But you know, I think I nailed this corner here. I think I get a better exit. Maybe I could have taken a bit more speed, but obviously the car's on the inside here, and I'm going to. Am I going to have a look down the inside? Sorry, I just coughed there. Got a crazy cold if you can't hear, but we're very close to each other now. Got to be very careful when you're this close going into a braking zone. Obviously these cars have an ABS, so they're a bit jittery on the brakes. I get a much better exit there. Are we going to make this move stick? We give him a lot of space just to make sure. And it looks like he's conceded. We're now 0.3 ahead of Novella, as we absolutely nail our braking zone here. And now we just have to settle into this race. We have to just maintain that gap, make sure that he doesn't, you know, benefit from the slipstream too much, and nail our braking zones. And as you can see here, I do not do that at all. And then, to top it all off, this new tyre model, you know, you push, overheat the tyres, and then you start moving again. Obviously, I could have done a bit of that, but you know, when you spin off, you want to be making that progress. You want to get back on track as soon as possible. But you know, I feel like this is iRacing now, where as soon as you overheat the rears, there's absolutely no way you can save it. And then we've got here Schwankweiler, I'm going to call him. Now I'm at this point, I'm frustrated. I'm very clearly faster than him. I can see. Obviously, he wants to fight. He's entitled to that. We're going to battle it out for 11th place. At this point, I'm thinking, you know, I'm past Wankweiler. I'm just going to blow down this straight. I want to put my, you know, nose in front. I was going to pull back out actually there to just, you know, make it known. Don't turn into me. But no, he chucks up the inside for whatever reason. And then, you know, I get the better exit around here. Obviously, I'm still a bit slowed down by him. You know, we're very close, door-to-door racing here. Am I going to outbrake into this corner? No, I think here he kind of outbrakes himself because I get the better exit around here, and I kind of slingshot out this corner. You know, I'm thinking at this point I'm frustrated, right? Okay, thanks Wankweiler. And you know, instead of some clean racing, instead of giving me some space, he just drives into that corner as if I'm not, you know, beside him. And fortunately, we don't lose too much time. I think we lose about 3 seconds from pirouetting there. I did get a very minor check for, you know, in that spin because I get very frustrated when people don't hold their brakes. But obviously, I don't want to flat spot my brakes. I know these cars have ABS, but any form of lockup or anything just results in vibrations through your wheel. Now, I really lose confidence when you have that, you know, vibration going through the direct drive. But you know, 2 laps ago I was in 1st place, and now I'm in 13th place, which is great. But now I'm thinking, you know, Wankweiler's obviously punted me off. I'm not going to win this one. Right? You know, the leader's 15 seconds up the road now. Novella, who I was fighting with, you know, he's gonna get this win now, which is fine because I messed up, my mistake. But I do want to, you know, salvage a result. So it's all about just making progress here. You know, nailing those brake points. You know, obviously, I got some front left suspension damage there. So I can barely speak from Wankweiler. And you know, that's going to hinder my lap time somewhat. I'm not going to be able to pump in those you know, 114s, early 114s. We're going to get track limits here. Yes, we are. You know, I think I decided not to lift there. I'll just take the track limits. I wasn't too focused on my safety rate in this race. I think we very slightly overshoot that. So that's going to hinder our exit and our speed down the main straight. Because I think at this point, you know, it's best to just catch up to Wankweiler. What can we do? What can we do in P13? Can we salvage a result in P13? I think we can. You know, we're not in top split, so these drivers aren't, you know, the fastest. Obviously, I'm not the fastest either. I think we're going to get another track limits there. Sorry about that. Had to take a drink of water there. But yeah, P12, going into lap 8. How many more laps we got? 9 laps. Get a good corner here. You have to be very gentle, I think, with these GT3s now after the Tyre update. I don't actually live where my rig is, so I only get to use it once every month or two. So every time I come on LMU, obviously they're working so much on the game. As I go off track again here, we're going to take the slow down. Yeah, I do lift off, and I do lose, a tenth or two, but we still get another 0.5 point track warning, which is great. But as I was saying, I don't get too much time to play these sims, so I do have to make the most of it when I do come back. And this new update is not very good, I don't think, personally. I'm a big fan of where the GT3s were before. Obviously a GT3 car is for rich dentists. It's not a car that is on a knife's edge. Whether it's a setup issue with these fixed setups or what, they've done something to them that just has changed them, not in a good way. And I think iRacing has taken the kind of opposite step that LMU's taken. I haven't gone on iRacing. I don't have a subscription at the moment, nor the GT3 cars, but from what I've been watching and reading about them, the tyre model for them has been updated, which was one of iRacing's biggest weaknesses, I thought. Whenever I played it, you slide. As I get another track limits here, I'm going to slow down. When you slide, you lose control, and that's it. And there's no saving that car unless you stamp on the throttle and the brake together 100%, which you need to kind of learn that, and I never did. But here they've done something to the tyre models, and I don't like it. And I do think it's something they're going to change. But until they do change it, obviously you just have to get used to it. And to get used to it, you just have to drive around it. Be a bit more gentle in your inputs, which is never a bad thing to learn how to do. Obviously it can teach them bad habits, just jamming on the throttle and relying on the traction control, which real life drivers do. But in the sim, it is good to learn how to not do that. And here, coming back to the race, finally, start, flashing my lights. At this point, I'm quite annoyed, right? We're going to take this chance here. I'm thinking, fuck this guy at Wankweimer. Fuck him, okay? And then we're going to take the double chance. And is it going to stick? Crescenzi and Wankweimer, I'm thinking, you guys have left a gap. And if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. So we're going to take that gap. And we have taken it. And is Crescenzi going to make a chance back? He's looking up the inside. I know, I'm looking to cover it off. Obviously, I don't want to block him. I'm not going to block him. But as we come to this braking zone here, he decides not to dive down the inside. And I think that was very smart from him. Because not that I was going to smash into him. Because, obviously I'm not going to ever intentionally wreck someone. But I don't think with Wankweimer behind, it would have ended well. So we're coming into lap 11 now. The last we were P13, I think. And now we're P9. And at this point, I'm just going to be chasing after Sam Powell, with Crescenzi right behind me. You can see he got very close to the back of me. And who's that? Emmond. I think he was in P3 behind me, and now he's in the wall. That's very unfortunate. I hope he has a good race. I think after that he quit. But from here on in, I'm going to take my P8, and I'm going to think, what can I want to make the most of this bad situation that I'm in. I was in pole position, I was leading the race, I was faster than Novella. Obviously I've got this damage now, which isn't great, but I don't want to carry on racing. I don't want to make the most of this result. Obviously it's easy to just quit, which I could have done, but I don't want to do that. I want to race. I'm coming around here to finish up lap 11 now, and kind of a good mid corner there. Gained about a tenth, but we're going to lose that again down the straight. 2.5 tenths off of my fastest. I'm personally going to just blame that suspension issue. As you can see on the times there, I'm gapping, half a second faster than the people around me as I completely overcooked that braking zone. I think what I was doing there in the race was either looking in front or behind, looking at the times, because I'm thinking I want to overtake Sam Powell now, and I am faster than him. But as you can see from these mistakes I'm making, I'm not really gaining on him, because when I do nail a corner, as you can see, I'm gaining a tenth or two. You know, those last two corners, he absolutely sent it. I mean, he gained a lot of time there. Fair play to him. But you can really see that suspension issue now. So I've just lost 2/10 from that sweeping right-hander because, you know, I can't crank in that steering input I need because of the suspension issue. But we're coming down this back straight now, whatever straight you want to call it, and we've got 5 minutes left of the race. What can we make of this 5 minutes? We'll see. I think these last few corners, whilst I'm in the race and whilst I'm watching this replay, I can feel that ABS crunching. I don't have an active pedal or anything like that, but I'm a big fan of how the ABS feels in this game. Obviously you can now set it. Most GT3 cars have 1 to 9 ABS, and it gives you a brief overview of whether you want it understeery, balanced or oversteery. I'm yet to really dial in what I like from car to car, but usually I do like quite balance up. I guess everyone does. Whether that's understeery or oversteery is personal preference. But when people talk about driving styles and how they think they drive, obviously in real world you've got drivers like Lewis Hamilton prefers kind of an understeery car, and then you got Max Verstappen, the opposite of that, who likes oversteery car, which obviously doesn't work for the other drivers like Tsunoda, Lawson, Perez, everyone in that second Red Bull seat. And I know sim racing is just a game, but I still like to find out what kind of driving style I have. So I want to try and do that. So if you can tell from this video, let me know. But otherwise, I'd like to think, I'm quite smooth, not too erratic on the brakes. I've got some bad habits that I've picked up from my G29 pedals on the brakes, specifically in mid-braking zones. I either ease off the brake pedal or step on it harder, because on the G29 pedals, if any of you have used it, obviously you get that big, well, you can press down on them very easily, but there's like 2 bits to it. You get like the first bit of travel, and then the brake pedal hits the rubber, or in my case had the true brake mode, but you get a bit of travel before it actually hits the spring, and then that's when you get resistance. So what I was finding when I was looking at telemetry for my braking, get another track limits here unfortunately, and I keep doing this, I keep backing off but doing it half-assed, and then I lose time and I get the time, so I need to work on that in the future. But with the G29, half your braking is with resistance and then half your braking is without. So now I've got these Fanatec CSL wheels, the load cell setup, which I like the pedal face. I'm not sure if I actually like the brakes. I think I would actually like some more travel, because I find it difficult to know how much pressure I'm putting on, especially as well on Fanalab or whatever it's called. Always keep flipping, resetting my brake force for some reason. So sometimes I'm using 50% brake pedal force, and some other times I'm using 65, which I've been sat on for this race. Anyway, if you have a look at my telemetry on the bottom right, you might be able to see sometimes that I kind of don't bleed off the brakes fully, and then I reapply them a bit. So it's something that I want to learn how to fix, really. And now I'm getting close to Sam Powell. I'm looking at the time, I'm looking at a minute and a half, and I'm thinking, oh crap, I haven't actually overtaken him here. I'm in 7th place, so I think I've gained actually another place, so someone else might have crashed off. But I'm a second behind him now. I think, can I make something work? And as we travel down the back straight, I'm giving him another flash. I want to get a good exit out this last corner. I don't. I ease off. I don't get track limits this time, which is good, but obviously I lose some time. But now we're going to ease off. We're going to, sorry, not ease off. We're going to blast down this back straight. Listen to that V10 Lamborghini. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I think so. One of the better sounding GT3s. We've got 33 seconds left of this race. So with Novella 15 seconds ahead, I'm thinking this is the last lap. I'm pretty sure this is the last lap, so I'm thinking, oh crap, I do need to flip in, get on the accelerator pedal here. And this is what I mean, so that's the ideal way I think to take that corner, is to link your front two tyres over the curb there. And it's at this point that I think, I haven't got him. I've given him a good run, but I haven't got him. And as I said before, I'm going to blame the suspension. I'm going to blame Wankweiler. Thanks very much for hitting me, mate. But we're going to come around the last corner here. Come down the main straight, the man straight, and it's an P7 victory. Not a victory, a complete failure. I could have won that race very easily. But thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe.